What are we doing today, Nico?
Well, the result at the Tennessee National was not one I was too happy with. So naturally, we're going to blame the bike. I take no responsibility. No, I'm kidding. I've just always, since we've been running this components package, kind of found some stuff that I was comfortable with and I thought worked well. And this year running this prototype bike, it's definitely on the heavier side. I'm not sure if that's directly correlates to going faster or slower, but we're going to try to run some lighter weight components from our sponsors and see if there's any noticeable difference, good or bad. And see kind of how the bike works with different weight, and then we're going to also put some weights on the bike in different places and see how that affects the way it rides too. Just told me put some like lubricant on that lever so it doesn't squeak. Lubricante. See, it's a good thing I brought my toolbox. All right, Logan, you ready? So I'm gonna start with the 203 rotors. That way I'm on all the light stuff first. And then we'll switch to the coil shock, aluminum bar, and tires with inserts, and the big rotors as we go, and then maybe a mix of the two. All right. Very good. It's like a gas tank on a perimeter frame bike versus a KTM. All my fuel's way up high where a bike gets top heavy. Yeah, so obviously we're here at the track doing some pre-season testing. We've got the race car here, out here to kind of lay down some lap times and see where we're at. It's so funny, Jack drives that thing here for the weekend with all his downhill stuff. A lot different from my vehicle, I'd say. Maybe similar in age and reliability, but maybe different in interior space. So today we rode two different setups. One was a lighter setup with carbon bar, no inserts, 2 or 3 rotors, and an air shock. and that bike was 3 pounds lighter than what I was normally riding. Definitely noticed the difference between the two, but what I kind of learned through the day was that the difference wasn't the weight, it was that the heavier parts also performed better, and it was the performance benefit that I noticed. For sure, anytime you have a chance to save weight, with all things equal, it's good. You should have a lighter bike, but when there's a part that performs better, you have to kind of take that performance into consideration. I also did some timed runs today. The lighter bike felt a lot harder to ride. I felt like it was a little bit nervous out there, like on the chatter or just any spots where it got rough. The bike just didn't feel as settled. So another thing we did today was we put some weight around the bike. We strapped the water bottle to a couple different places, and water is really easy to measure because 1 milliliter of water weighs 1 gram. So we had a regular water bottle, which is 500 milliliters. So putting just a little over a pound, 500 grams at a few different spots on the bike, both by feel and on the clock, it really made no difference, which I was surprised at. The bike with the lightest setup that I had, putting the water on it didn't make me any faster or slower, and it didn't really feel a whole lot different either. I put it on the top tube, and that was probably the one that I noticed a little bit, it was kind of top heavy with the water being up here. And then I strapped it below the down tube, which I thought might actually be a good thing, but didn't really notice the difference. And then I put it on the rear end, which I thought would be probably the worst because it's on the unsprung weight of the bike. So every time the shock moves and changes direction, you have to move more mass. So in theory that would be bad, but honestly I didn't even notice. And maybe just because being on the back or underneath the down tube, it was a low place on the bike. The water kind of proved to me that it wasn't the weight that was making any difference. It was what the products do, whether it's the insert or the shock. So in the end, I kind of found a good compromise between the two. Probably not gonna run the front insert unless it gets super rough. It's definitely nice on the hands, but I think if I can get away with it, it might be quicker. Really like this carbon bar. I haven't really messed with it much. I always found the aluminum one to be like the exact sweep and everything that I liked. So I kind of stuck with it, but anybody who says they feel a carbon bar is too stiff, at least these Rentals, they felt the same to me. So I think in that case is a good choice to go for the lighter one. I don't think we found a lot of speed today, but at least we figured some stuff out that we don't have to worry about anymore. Um, 1 milligram of water weighs 1 gram. So we had a regular water bottle, which
1 milliliter of water.
Okay.
In conclusion.
Should I say that again? Because I said the same thing like 6 times.
Sure.